This video reviews cancer.
Cancer is a group of over 100 diseases characterized by abnormal, uncontrolled cell growth. In a healthy body, cells grow, die, and are replaced in a very controlled way. Damage or change in the genetic material of cells by environmental or internal factors sometimes results in cells that do not die and continue to multiply until a mass of cancer cells or a tumor develops. Most cancer-related deaths are due to metastasis, malignant cells that penetrate into the circulatory system and establish colonies in other parts of the body. Great advancements have been made, but cancer is still the leading cause of death for people under the age of 85. In the United States, 1 in every 4 people die from cancer.
It is very clear that cancer is a very important topic that everyone should know about. Cancer is a disease in which cells grow and divide uncontrollably, damaging the body parts around them. Scientists believe something damages a portion of the DNA in a chromosome, and this causes a mutation, and the cell functions abnormally, and this disrupts the cell cycle. There are more than 100 types of cancer. Cancer can occur in almost any part of the body. The type of cancer is usually named for where it begins. For example, if someone has lung cancer, the cancer began in the person's lungs. Cancer grows like weeds in a garden. A person can be more likely to get cancer because of inherited traits. For example, some inherited genetic mutations may increase breast cancer risks. Mutations in the BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes are most common inherited causes. Carcinogens, which is any substance related to causing cancer, can lead to an increased risk at developing cancer. How cancer begins. Scientists think that cancer begins when something damages a portion of the DNA in a chromosome. The damage causes a mutation and the cells function abnormally. Normally, the cells in one part of the body live in harmony with the cells around them. Cells that go through the cell cycle divide in a controlled way. Cancer begins when mutations disrupt the normal cell cycle, causing cells to divide in an uncontrolled way. Without the normal controls on the cell cycle, the cells may grow too large and divide too often. How a tumor forms. At first, one cell develops in an abnormal way. As the cell divides over and over, more and more abnormal cells are produced. In time, these cells form a tumor. A tumor is a mass of abnormal cells that develops when cells divide and grow uncontrollably. How cancer spreads. Tumors often take years to grow to a noticeable size. During that time, the cells become more and more abnormal as they continue to divide. Some of the cancerous cells may break off from the tumor and enter the bloodstream. In this way, the cancer can spread to other areas of the body. This image shows differences in normal and cancerous cells. The cancerous cells have a smaller cytoplasm, multiple nuclei, multiple and large nucleoli, and coarse chromatin. In this image, the top portion shows normal cells. The bottom left image is a benign, non-cancerous tumor. The bottom right image is a malignant, cancerous tumor. Common carcinogens, cancer-causing products, include acetaldehyde from consuming alcoholic beverages, arsenic, asbestos, chromium-6 compounds, coal, ethanol in alcoholic beverages, formaldehyde, tobacco, fumes of the metal cadmium and nickel, UV radiation, chlorine, X-rays, That is why you have to wear the lead bibs when you get an x-ray. And human papillomavirus, which is linked to cervical cancer. Tobacco itself is a carcinogen, but in case you were thinking about smoking, here are other carcinogens or bad substances in cigarettes. Butane, which is in lighter fluid. Cadmium, which is in batteries. Stearic acid, which is in candle wax. Hexamine, which is in barbecue lighter fluid. Toluene, which is an industrial solvent. Nicotine, which is in insecticide. Ammonia, which is in toilet cleaner. Paint. Methanol, which is in rocket fuel. Carbon monoxide. Arsenic, which is in rat poison. Methane, which is in sewer gas. And acetic acid, which is in vinegar. Nice stuff to inhale into your body, right? Cancer treatments include surgery, radiation, drugs, and experimental treatments. Before cancer spreads, surgery is the best treatment because the tumor can be removed. If the cancer has spread or the tumor can't be removed, the person may undergo radiation or chemotherapy. Radiation uses a beam of high-energy waves that can destroy the cancer cells. Chemotherapy is the use of drugs to treat the disease. The drugs used in chemotherapy can kill cancer cells or slow their growth. However, they can destroy normal cells as well, producing nausea, hair loss, and weight loss. This image shows people receiving radiation. The top left image shows a person receiving chemotherapy. The bottom right image shows a port that is used to receive chemotherapy treatments. There are also experimental treatments for cancer, since there's no cure yet. Researchers have been using anaerobic bacteria such as Clostridium novae to consume the interior of oxygen-poor tumors and killing the cancer cells. Another treatment is Hamlet, which stands for human alpha lactalbumin, made lethal to tumor cells, which is a molecular complex derived from human breast milk that kills tumor cells by a process resembling programmed cell death, which is called apoptosis. The cell kills itself. Another treatment is dichloroacetate, DCA, which has been found to shrink tumors in vitro in rats and has plausible scientific mechanism. DCA appears to reactivate suppressed mitochondria in some types of oxygen-starved tumor cells and thus promote apoptosis, or cell death. Another experimental treatment is insulin potentiation therapy, IPT. Insulin is a controversial supplement to low-dose chemotherapy. Another experimental treatment is introduction of tumor suppressor genes into rapidly dividing cells. This has been thought to slow down tumor growth. Also, localized and whole-body application of heat has been proposed as a technique for the treatment of malignant tumors. Mild heat treatments combined with other stresses can cause cell death. There are 4 stages of cancer. Stage 0 is in situ. In this stage, the cell that becomes a cancerous cell usually does so in the company of other similar cells. Often, but not always, it can produce a tumor right there in that tissue, in a way that poses little or no threat to life. This is called in situ cancer. That is, cancer in a position where it started. It is probable that some cancers never go beyond this early stage. So in this stage, the cancer is in one place. Stage 1 cancer is called localized cancer. At this stage, the cancer cells gain the ability to pass through the basement membrane, that is the thin boundary of tissue in which the cancer began, to invade neighboring tissues. This invasion is a serious step because it indicates that the growing cancer cells may threaten life. While the cancer remains a single lump, partly in the tissue where it began and partly in the neighboring tissue, it is said to be in the localized stage. Therefore, in this stage, the cancer has spread to neighboring tissues. The next stages are stages 2 and 3, which are called regional spread. Once a cancer cell has invaded, a common next step is for one of its daughter cells to invade through a lymph vessel. A lymph vessel is a vessel like a blood vessel that carries a clear fluid called lymph, which is all the time going into the tissue from our blood capillaries to the smallest blood vessels back into the bloodstream. On the way to the bloodstream, the cancer cell can get caught in a lymph node, one of the powerhouses of the body's immune system. There, it might provoke an immune response against it, which can go on to destroy it and the other cancer cells. Sometimes, though, it divides and forms a lump in the lymph node. This stage is often referred to as regional spread. Therefore, in this stage, the cancer has spread within the general region in which it first began, but not to other parts of the body. Stage 4 is called distant spread. In this next step, it can be quite varied. Cells from the lump in the lymph node may spread further through lymph vessels to more distant lymph nodes or on into the bloodstream. Cells from the original lump may invade capillary and enter a bloodstream that way. Either way, once in the bloodstream, the cancer cells can go just about anywhere in the body and form new colonies and spread further. This is the stage of distant spread. So in stage 4, the cancer has spread to other parts of the body. You do not need to memorize the different stages. It is important to just recognize them. The most important thing you need to know is how cancer is related to the cell cycle.